What happens if the daddy not around? Because a lot of these niggas be leaving.
She need to go back to her baby daddy.
But he left.
Well then she gotta wait because that shouldn't be somebody else's. But here's the thing.
So she gotta wait till the baby is grown today.
No. Listen, this is what I'm saying. That is not
shit I ever heard
another dude.
She's so freaking bitter. She just want to be taken care of no matter what. She want to make her bad decisions and get to find a high value man at the same time. You can't.
Controversial conversation about step parenting, where Anton had a conversation about stepfathers being crash dummies. Step crash.
Man, not crash dummies.
Dummies is what he likes to call them. Thanks for the correction. Thank you.
Hate it all.
Anton, can we talk about
Even after rewatching it?
That's an upgrade.
You hated it even after rewatching it?
Yes, because I don't agree with it.
Well, okay, let's talk about the foundation.
Hey, dude, beard is on point though. That nigga shit just hanging. Like, hey, that's what I'm trying to get.
Of what he believes, and we'll talk about what we don't agree with. Anton, what is it about? Why don't you like men being stepfathers?
I don't think that it's a benefit. First of all, if you just frame it, right, and you say, okay, well, this guy, he took care of his business his whole life, and he did the right thing, and he didn't have any children out of wedlock, and he literally had the ability to pick and choose anybody that he wants, right? Why would he go and choose to take care of another man's kid who is at some point gonna say, you're not my daddy? Like, why would he ever do that? Right? First of all, it removes the responsibility from the woman from choosing the guy that she's supposed to be with in the first place. Because most women have skipped over the man that she was supposed to be with.
Right.
Most of them. Right. And then
I would have to agree right there. I've been with a woman that had a child, and it's not fun because you're responsible for that child and her, and that's not even my child. Like, but you don't want to be an a-hole. You don't want to get yourself something to eat and her something to eat, and then the kid just looking there like, you're not my kid. You can't do it like that.
On top of that, you then have to go back and forth with another dude that's gonna always be tied to her through that kid. Because essentially, that is marriage.
Right.
Right? You're married.
Somebody?
Yeah, you're married to that woman through the kid because you're never gonna be able to detach from each other.
What happens if the daddy not around? Because a lot of these niggas be leaving.
She need to go back to her baby daddy.
But he left.
Well then she gotta wait because that shouldn't be somebody else's. But here's the thing.
So she gotta wait till the baby is grown today.
No.
That's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life.
That is
Stupidest shit I ever heard in my
another
life.
dude.
She's so freaking bitter. She just want to be taken care of no matter what. She want to make her bad decisions and get to find a high value man at the same time. You can't do that. My baby mama, I'm sorry to say, I created a broken home. My mother of my child, she texted me a month ago saying, hey, I just got a new boyfriend. I would love him to meet your daughter because my daughter stays with me. She's like, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. You want another guy to provide for my child? It's just stupid. I would never do that shit.
The world does not owe you understanding.
Responsibility. She got to figure that out on her own. Now, if she can finesse a dude into getting with her and doing it on that time, then that's a whole nother conversation.
I'm so glad
I don't
we're
see
individuals.
I don't see the
Everybody has their own
benefit.
opinion.
Nobody
Hold on,
has ever.
Crystal, what you
Nobody
say?
has
So
ever.
glad we're all individuals and everybody has their own opinion.
She's salty. She do not like
I'm
that.
so glad that everybody don't think like you.
Why not?
Because
If people thought like me, women would think twice about the man that they chose to have children with.
I don't. So we.
You'll think twice about leaving your baby daddy for stupid reasons. I mean, he didn't listen to me enough. He didn't do this. Was he abusing you? Was he physically abusing you? Was he neglecting you? Was he not providing for you? Was he not protecting you? If he doing all those things, really all that other stuff can be worked out. You just leaving them for no reason just to get out there in the dating field. Oh, I was so young. Man, come on, man. You gotta build that family. You gotta stay strong for that family to have some exceptional children. You can't just be out here I had a child, but I don't like my baby daddy. He ain't so I'm just gonna go and find another guy. Okay.
I feel like at the end of the day, you never know people's circumstances, what they going through, or what's happening when those babies are being made. I mean, you can say you want to have the best mindset and make the best decisions, but in reality, that's not life. So it's like that's like we in make-believe land, what you're saying.
I was at
Real
make-believe
life
land.
happens. So that world you're talking about is make-believe world, because that does not happen. Look how many, not that it's a good thing, but look how many babies are born out of wedlock. Look what's going on in the time that we're in. This is a different time from the past. A lot of times when you guys have those mind frames, you're thinking about how things were so long ago. That's not even the world that we're living in anymore.
I don't think she realized that is the world that we're living in nowadays. I think a lot of women really haven't noticed that a lot of men are waking up to this stuff. A lot of men simply don't want to do that because they have...
Tell you, it's only so many things, so many traps, and so many times you could pull the same trick until people start catching on. Like, I'm not finna keep doing it. I'm not finna keep getting married when every time I look up somebody's getting divorced. I'm not finna keep having these babies when every time I look up somebody getting on child support for this amount of money, absurd amount of money a month. It's just like it's just no good thing to come out of being with a woman that doesn't value family. There's nothing good to come out of it.
I've heard the stories of their older friends, their OGs or their uncles tell them, hey man, that's probably nothing you want to do, especially when that child comes up to you and gets in your face and say, hey, you're not my parent, you're not my father, you don't tell me what to do.
That's why we want to make America great again.
And that hurt right there. You sacrificed, you did this most unselfish thing you could do. You raised a child that wasn't yours, and the child doesn't appreciate it. He's not grateful. He's disrespectful. He or she is disrespectful. It's like, that is the most degrading, most ill feeling that you'll feel right there. You done sacrifice your life for something that isn't even yours. And now I see what this guy's talking about. It really isn't in the best interest of a guy that has no kids to date, to take serious a single mom. It's just not a good thing. You don't get anything out of it.
We can.
You did not just sit here and say that shit.
That's why we want to make America great again. Because think about it. The more that we are left up to our own devices and get away from the core of what we were supposed to be doing in the first place, the worse off it gets. The reason why people with more information than we've ever had before continue to go down this dark path, we know for a fact that a child raised in a single parent household has less of an opportunity to be great, more of a probability to need therapy, more likely to go to jail, less likely to go to college, more likely to have debt and be asking the government for student loan forgiveness. We know that is the pathway more than likely.
You dealing with
I come from black. I come from a two-parent household, and I got
being born black. Period.
We know
you can be
this.
born to a two-parent household.
That's nonsense.
That is.
I was
that
born
is so
in the hood
true.
like everybody else, and that ain't my circumstance or any of the people that
Because
was
you
born
made
with.
it different for yourself.
No, I didn't. It's
Individuals
because I
move
was raised
differently.
in a two-parent household, even though we were born. But that don't mean nothing. Because I'll go.
I guarantee you she wasn't raised in a two-parent household. She's trying to defend her way of being raised. She's trying to say, I'm not messed up. Look at me. She's trying to look for any excuse for people to accept that this is the new way. This could be acceptable. A woman having children over here, children over there, and still getting chose. There's no consequence. There's no accountability. That's what she wants. It's just not going to happen.
Go into that in a minute. But my point is.
You need a microphone. Hold on.
But my point is that even with all of the information and the technology and being able to look in hindsight, y'all still choosing to do it. This is not something that anybody is making y'all do. Y'all choosing to have children.
We're not making them men have babies with us. It takes two. It's not this.
You see this girl right here. She just love to argue. She here to argue. She ain't here to learn or to have an educational conversation. She just want to argue.
Do it.
Okay, what do you have to
Let me
say?
ask her a question. Why would a woman have a child out of wedlock? Why would she choose to do that today?
How about I'm gonna take it back to what I say every time. Like you said, you grew up in a two-parent household. You probably was taught something a totally different way. Imagine being me, born in a household where my mom is a single parent, and there are.
I told you. I haven't even watched this video. I knew she was raised by a single parent. She just act like it.
Are different baby daddies. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm growing up where auntie's doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not married. everybody not with, not with the person that they had kids with, but then you still find your way, you move through life, you do what you have to do. Let's say you find you a man that loves you for you and loves your babies, and you do have kids that are from another man, you feel me? But the situation didn't work. You said because I made a bad decision and had a baby by a guy that decided he wanted to whoop my ass, now I can't find love and happiness because of that. That don't make sense.
And that's what's called a generational curse that she's discussing right now. She's talking about the fact that she has a history of the women in her family having multiple kids by multiple men, and somehow she ended up repeating the same thing. You know what I mean? So
that's why when you get with a woman, it's important to look at her family tree. Look at her household. Where did she come from? How is her parents doing? What are the values that she values? You need to. I know that seems insignificant, but that stuff actually matters. Because if she didn't grow up around it, she's not going to value it. If she doesn't grow up with a man in the house, she's not going to see the value of having a man in the house when she starts her own family.
As far as talking about her aunts and her family members, she also need to talk about the fact that a lot of these women do keep these kids simply to try to keep the man. I know women don't like to hear men say this, but I do think it's a woman's responsibility to not get herself pregnant.
That's crazy.
Telling you, it's kind of the man's responsibility too. But when you in that mood, people got to think of the act of sex. It's just so raw and primitive that you don't be in your right mind when it's happening. You know, you in the moment. It's you in the heat of the moment. You're not really thinking about the future. Neither one of y'all. I'm telling you, the man or the woman. So it's kind of hard to take accountability for that and just say, oh well, we need to think strategically when we have sex and think why I don't want to be. Hey, people just thinking about pleasure. They're not thinking about the actual act of sex and what it produces. They're just not.
No. Chulo, what you say?
So I chose to be a stepfather, pretty much, right?
Chulo.
I chose to be a stepfather too. I had a child with a woman that already had a child before me, and it was good at first. Then after a while, you start getting taken advantage of. You start when she start pulling away and she want to date other people. Now you have a connection with the stepchild, and you're like, I gotta cut off both of these people. You got a connection with both of these people or the child. It's just a whole thing I could have avoided if I just got with a woman that had no children, and it could have just been me, her, and the kid. Whatever we going through is just us.
That's my aesthetic, right?
That's my aesthetics is crazy.
That's not second place.
Second place? That's your aesthetic?
I was a single father, right? I was a single father of a girl. You know what I'm saying? I was a girl dad. So
Same too. Me too.
it was a little different, right? I always wanted a boy. I wanted to know what it was to actually raise a man.
Me too.
And all this other thing. So when I actually met the woman that I decided to marry, I was like, okay, cool. She came with a son. And I already understand that it's a two-parent deal. You don't want to be in those situations where, I'm with your mama, but little nigga, you on the side.
Yeah.
You see, I told you that. You can't just come home and bring food for my kid, the baby mama, and me, and then leave the step kid out and don't bring him no food. You can't do that, bro. At all.
You got to kick over a sport like Snoop did.
Yeah.
Baby boy.
Yeah. So, at the same time, her son
You
was
ain't my
4.
daddy. I hate you.
Her son was 4 and my daughter was 4. So a lot of things match. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things mesh. I'm like, listen, it'd be dope for my daughter to have somebody to play with, somebody to be around. That way it's not, hey, please my child to try to please me.
Yeah.
It's a game.
Me and this dude on the same page. Even though I have a stepson and I have a daughter, when they together, I'm telling you, it's like lightning and thunder. Those two, they just play with each other. They talk to each other. They iron sharpens iron. They educating each other. It's just a beautiful thing to see. It really is.
In the beginning, versus saying, okay, listen, we're gonna get in there, we're gonna see how it really is, because how kids will start taking their parents' side, the realistic things of whatever.
I think that this conversation skips over something that's important, and the important part that it skips over is bringing that step parent into the household can create the household into a two-parent household. What? That's what happens if a single mother gets married. Now you're in a two-parent household. And when you have that,
that's facts. That's facts.
Two-parent household, like you just said, statistically, we know what the numbers look like differently. We don't say the numbers off a two-parent household biologically all the time. It's a two-parent household. So me marrying my husband and him having 2 kids, the kid's experience, he sleep right now, but if I woke his ass up, he'll tell you his experience with us at our house is going to differ than the experience that he gets at his mom's house with his stepfather. You feel me?
Most step kids are package kids. It's kind of like cable, okay? You are the high-speed internet. Your child is you are the high-speed internet, and your child is the house phone.
Okay.
Okay?
Nobody use the house phone though.
Exactly. He don't like the kids.
Oh my God.
If we got to be honest,
That's a fact.
if we got to be honest, like I hate step stools, step daddies, step mom.
We can tell.
Hey, but you gotta
We can tell, nigga.
Once again, I'm glad people have individual
The
thoughts.
stepdad ain't nothing but
You can tell she's sitting like this, like, man, I don't even want to be near this dude.
He went into that mode of what movie was that one? Dog was like, I hate everything black. I hate
That got nothing to
because
do
they
with
black.
mama.
I hate piano because they
Can I
black.
say this really
If
quick?
you ever
Without
see it,
disrespect, you're gonna get it.
stepdaddies ain't nothing but the first loser.
One thing I do believe is
The
that
first loser. That's a good way to put it. That's an interesting way to put it. You the first guy to clean up another guy's mess. You know, after she done left her baby daddy, now you come along and you trying to clean up the mess for a little bit of scratch. You know what I'm saying?
that we see.
I never felt so bad about being a former stepdad. And to this day, even though I'm not with my mother, my child, I still care for the stepchild that I was raising for the last 2-3 years. It's just, you just can't cut it off if you really care for the child.
Now,
That's why you never get involved in the first place.
days it seems there is a less of a majority of men that are looking to play that stepdad role. That was something that we saw a lot of men in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s do.
I'll tell you right now, if I had a chance to do it again, I wouldn't do it. And if I'm going to start over with a new woman, I would prefer that woman have, even though I have a child, I would prefer that she didn't have no children at all.
Where they will come in and play stepdad. I have been a stepdad before, so I know what that experience is like. So I can say from experience that it wasn't pleasant. So I don't encourage
See, I told you, it's not pleasant, man. It's really hard work.
men to do it. I wish women and men would really discuss this and get to the root cause of this. A lot of the root cause of this is, a lot of these women was looking to keep that man in their life, so they kept the child. And the responsibility is on the men too. A lot of these women didn't make sure that
Shit, that was my daughter. You gotta change that shirt, untie that shirt,
that man had a condom on,
quit rolling your eyes.
was protecting himself, and didn't get her pregnant. Because we all know that women really do control the outcome of her pregnancy. And I think a lot of these ladies need to reverse that mentality to, just don't have a baby until you get married. But I'm gonna leave a link down below where you guys.
Another thing is, a woman can control where a man ejaculates. A man can ejaculate wherever he wants. When you're in that submissive position and he's in control, and you can't control where he ejaculates. You just can't. As a woman, you just got to protect yourself afterwards or before. Put this condom on, or afterwards go get a plan B. But during, you have no control. He's gonna inseminate wherever he wants to. So some of that is really on the man.
Go check out this full video for yourself. Be sure to drop a comment down below and let me know what you think about this particular topic. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next.
Yeah, Kobe Jack Reacts. Thanks for watching. That was a good video. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do another video today. All right, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.